Hi, I'm Eric Summerer, and here's what's coming from the Dice Tower this week.
Hey guys, welcome to the news for January 21st, 2013. Lots of stuff going on, especially with the Dice Tower. If you've missed it, we're currently running a Kickstarter that has done incredibly well. I'm really surprised at all the support we've gotten, and I didn't even do any reviews last week because I spent so much time working on the Kickstarter. I'm going to take a back seat on the Kickstarter this week, so if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out so that I can get some reviews done. That's the whole point of the Dice Tower as it is. Other things that you might be interested in, you can make sure always to go to our website, dicetower.com. If you're watching this on Monday or Tuesday, you have a chance still to vote on the best games from 2003, which is 10 years ago. And we have a People's Choice generated top 10 list each time. And if you're watching it after that, then you go and vote. The next one, I believe, is the best games from 1998, which is 15 years ago. We like to take a look back and see which of those games are we still playing today. So lots of exciting things. Let's get to the board gaming news. Some pretty exciting announcements this week. First of all, Z-Man announced that they're going to be doing a 5-year re-release of Pandemic. They're going to upgrade components. They're going to have some upgrade packs. There's a new expansion. A lot of cool things. The cover looks very different than it initially did. Also, Fantasy Flight Games has announced that they're going to be printing or reprinting Letters from Whitechapel. That was a game that came out a couple years ago. A lot of people enjoyed it, about hunting down Mr. Jack after he commits his murders. And Summoner Wars expansions have been announced, where what they're going to do is there's many different factions for Summoner Wars. Now we're going to see a second summoner for each of these. So you have a choice which summoner you'd like to use, and then add to that, which units you're going to use. So that's a lot of fun. And not Fantasy Flight, but Days of Wonder has crossed over into the Kickstarter realm. Who's next? We got when we see Hasbro go to Kickstarter, then we know it's all over. But this is a different kind of thing. What they're doing is they're doing a Small World Kickstarter, Small World 2. Essentially, it's a Kickstarter for a lot of extra features for the iOS version of Small World, or you want a super deluxe version of Small World with metal coins and really nice counters and counter trays, etc. So you can check all that out. The news of the week is Rob Daviau, who many of you might know. He was the designer of many of the best games that Hasbro produced, or at least had a hand in them, like HeroScape and Star Wars Queen's Gambit and Star Wars Epic Duels. And but the one that he might be most well known, at least recently, is Risk Legacy. Well, on a recent podcast with Plaid Hat Games, they announced that they're going to be working with him. So now he's basically a freelance designer. They're going to be working with him, and this will be coming out in a year or two in the future, on another kind of game that takes that Risk Legacy aspect, where the game changes as you play it, and you find out new things, and it branches, and each game isn't the same. It builds on previous games. Worked really cool in Risk Legacy, and with a great publisher like Plaid Hat Games, this is something that I think is really exciting. I also want to mention, last week I was talking a lot about Mage Wars, a new expansion for that, something I'm very excited about, and there's all kinds of information on that expansion online now. But I said Arcane Legions was the one producing it. It's Arcane Wonders. Sorry about the mix-up there. Fantastic game. Check it out. Mage Wars. When it comes to the Dice Tower Network podcast, I just mentioned Rob Daviau and the Plaid Hat guys, and you can hear all of that in Plaid Hat number 77, which was released. And it's a really good episode where they talk about what it was like for him working at Hasbro, the whole idea of Risk Legacy, and the game changing and people's reactions to that. Also on Board Games number 99, almost to 100, guys. Good job. They have Giles Pritchard on, and they talk about teaching games to other people. Not Just Another Gaming Podcast has released number 25, where they talk about Legends of Andor superhero games. They also introduce their fundraising drive, and which you have a chance to win some pretty cool prizes, so go check them out. I should also mention that I do try to listen to the podcast, my network, when I get a chance, and I listened to their last one, and they said that I had made fun of them about their zombie-themed Christmas special, which I still think is a funny theme for a Christmas special, and they were worried that they didn't get enough views. So if you're watching this, go download all their podcasts to increase their views. Actually, go check them out. They're a great podcast, and I look forward to playing games with them at TotalCon. TotalCon's coming up, folks. If you're in that area, come on out, and I'll be there. Eric will be there. The guys from Not Just Another Gaming Podcast will be there. We have some fun games, a live episode of the Dice Tower. Speaking of the Dice Tower, our latest episode will be released, and we'll be talking, as I said, about games from 2008, 5 years ago. Will Pandemic make the list with its big redoing version? Well, listen to that episode and see. Flip the Table number 20 has a special guest, Rich Sommer from Mad Men fame, and they talk about, well, the Mad Magazine game. They always take a look at really terrible games from the past, and I guess this one's no different. D6 Generation does an episode where they talk about Space Cadets. Have you heard enough about this game yet? Really get out there and play this game. And they also talk about New Year's resolutions. Also, the D6 Generation does some very detailed reviews, and they have something on their website now where you can go and look and find a listing of all these very detailed reviews that they do. So if you're interested in a specific game, you can find the episode that they review it in. For reviews this week, I have some from all the different reviewers. I don't know what I'll be reviewing. It's back here behind all this Kickstarter stuff, but I have some neat games. Oh, here's a really cool one. Among the Stars. This is like a space-themed Seven Wonders. And here we have Clash of Cultures, a civilization building game. Will I review those this week? I don't know. But I'm going to try to review as many games as I can. As soon as I'm done recording this, it's on to the reviews. So, anyhow. Ryan also will be reviewing several games, including CO2, Timeline, Jungle Speed, Agricola, All Creatures Great Small, The Chief. I have a review from Scott. I have a review from, so there will be reviews this week. Stay tuned to this channel for that. A couple final thoughts. First of all, once again, thank you to everybody who has participated in the Kickstarter, and that's very exciting for me. And there's all kinds of new games that are out, and I'm just excited to see everything that's been happening over this past week and such. However, today is January 21st, and this week is always a week of somewhat reflection for me because January 24th is just a few days away, and 2 years ago my son Jack Vasel died on January 24th. And, you know, as time goes by, that becomes easier to deal with, but it does bring to my mind the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund. And I want to keep mentioning that for a couple reasons. One is if you know somebody or you are somebody who needs help from this fund. It's a fund to help gamers in time of dire need. You know, fires, medical emergencies, different things. Please let us know. We're currently working on getting our whole website revamped, but we raise money a couple times a year. We have an auction at the Dice Tower Convention in July, and we also have a big auction on Board Game Geek in November, and you can donate it all year round, of course. It's tax deductible and all. But if you know someone who needs it, let us know. That's the whole point of this. It's not affiliated with the Dice Tower, other than the fact that I'm involved in both organizations. But it's something that I'm really excited about what it's done in the past. And so I always want to talk about it. And this is just kind of a reminder for you to either donate or let us know people who need help from our organization. I mentioned the Dice Tower Convention. That course is coming up in July. There's still time to sign up for that, and there's all kinds of exciting things. It's going to be a great year. So let's get to it. I'll see you guys soon. Tom Vasel, signing out.
Find all this and more at Dicetower.com. See you soon.